If you're struggling with an issue in your life right now, anxiety, imposter syndrome, you're trying to manifest something into your life, but it doesn't seem to be appearing, or whether it's struggling with motivation, if you're consistently struggling with something like this in your life, or you're finding yourself always repeating the same patterns of behavior, so maybe it's you're in a relationship and your finger's always hovering over the self-sabotage button. Maybe it's with money, where you're making the money that you want, but you feel like it's slipping through your fingers all the time. You can't keep hold of it. The way to resolve these issues is to look at where they came from in the first place. That is the key to setting yourself free from anything. So what we're going to do today is look at where these issues actually came from and get to the root cause of them, because that is the power and the understanding to set yourself free from anything. Hi, I'm Elise. And today I'm going to be taking you through a little exercise which is going to help you to transform, heal, and upgrade your inner child. We're going to do this by looking at the issues that maybe are really plaguing your life at the moment. And we're going to look at where they came from and how your past experiences are affecting your life today. And I'm going to be showing you this really effective exercise, which is going to show you how to get to that root cause, to see that past experiences may be still affecting you today. And then we're going to look at upgrading that inner child. So when I talk about your inner child, what I'm talking about is when you're a child, you learn everything about the world around you. We grow up in a world of conditioning. We don't come into the world full of fear, full of worry, full of anxiety. We develop that over time. And we bring that with us into adult life. So for example, if you think about something that's happened to you as a child, if you grew up with very unsupportive parents who you were always trying to please them, but you never got that praise that you wanted and you so deserved, then as an adult, you might be always people-pleasing or looking for approval from others to validate what you're doing. Because I grew up with a very unsupportive father, had this little vision of when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer. And as soon as I said that out loud, my dad just laughed at me and he said, "You will never be able to do anything like that. You'll never succeed because you don't have what it takes." And then even years after I left home, I was carrying that with me still. I wasn't able to walk away from that little voice in my head that was always telling me I would never amount to anything. And while my dreams of becoming a lawyer kind of changed because I did work experience at a solicitor's office, and I absolutely hated it actually. I really didn't enjoy it at all. So I moved away from that world. I went on to have a really successful career working in PR and advertising. I was doing really well. I was winning huge clients. I was making great money. But all the time, that little inner voice, that little inner child was saying to me, this isn't enough. This isn't you. You're not good enough. And people can see through it. So when I close my eyes and I do this little exercise, which massively helped me, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it next. I envisaged this little part of me, that little girl, still with me. But what I trained myself to do was, instead of that little girl who was still fearful, still worried, still wanting to be a perfectionist, still wanting to people please and do the best that she could do, which was never good enough, I embraced that little girl and told her, look at all the things you have achieved. I want to show you this. And that's exactly what we're going to do with this exercise today. So there's a few parts to this exercise, but it's really powerful. So I'd encourage you to do it. So what I want you to do is just write down things from your childhood that really stick out in your mind. They can be positive things, they can be negative things. Anything that has really stuck with you, I want you to just write it out, put it in a little table. So we'll have like a column on the left-hand side, and I want you to write out those childhood experiences, things that stick with you, that you regularly think of, or that are just at the forefront of your mind right now. Shut your eyes if you need to sort of stop and focus. Just go inward and think about it. And now on the right-hand side, I want you to put down how that might be affecting you today as an adult. So have a think about it. So for example, if you had a parent that was telling you that you were never going to amount to anything, how are your patterns of thought and behavior affected today as an adult? Or maybe as a child at school, you felt like you never fitted in, or you struggled to make friends. Maybe you were in the playground and you were playing with friends and you fell over and someone laughed at you. And for some reason, it stuck with you because you felt embarrassed. You felt like everyone was pointing at you and laughing. And as a child, that felt like a huge thing to you. And consciously as an adult, you think, well, why would that affect me now? That's ridiculous. Of course, if I fell over, yeah, it's a little bit embarrassing, but you move on. But actually as a child, that can be absolutely mortifying, and it sticks with you, it stays with you. So now that you've done the table, what I want you to do now again is go inward. I want you to close your eyes. Just close your eyes and take a nice big deep breath in and breathe out. And what I want you to do is just focus on that little inner monologue. I want you to focus on those words that you're telling yourself daily. What is it saying to you right now? Do you have that inner monologue telling you to do something or telling you, no, this isn't going to work, let's move on? What is it saying to you? What is it telling you? What is it telling you daily? Is it your biggest cheerleader? Is it, spurring you on, keeping you motivated, telling you to keep going? Or is it saying, you're not going to achieve this, you're worthless, you're not confident, you're not good enough to do this? Just focus in and zone in on that voice right now. And just listen to everything that it's saying. So the opposite of meditation right now, I want you to let your mind just run. Everything just run. And then I want you to focus on how this is making you feel as well at the same point. Because every thought that we have creates a physical reaction in our body. And it's really important to be very mindful of that mind-body connection, because that is the secret to understanding yourself and to not become embroiled in your thoughts and your beliefs, but actually being able to see them for what they are and separate yourself from them. So now that we've looked at those experiences that you had as a child and how they might be affecting you as an adult, and now that we've looked at what your inner voice and your inner monologue is saying to you, we're going to start to separate ourselves from that. We're going to start to learn how to do that and how to know that our little inner critic, that little inner voice, it's part of us, yes, but it's not us. So what I want you to do, and this is a really simple but really powerful, powerful exercise. Go back to that little list of experiences that you wrote as a child, and I want you to close your eyes. I want you to be there as an observer, watching that scene as though you're watching it on TV or watching it on your mobile, but you're just watching it as an observer. And I want you to look at that experience, and I want you to watch that child in that moment, whether it was something embarrassing that happened to you, whether it was something that someone said to you, whatever it may be. I want you to watch it happening, and I want you to just say out loud, that's not me. Such a powerful statement, because it was you. You were there, you experienced that in that moment, but it's not you, not now, not anymore. So if you had 3 examples, 4 examples, 5 examples, just go there now. Play out those scenes like little movies, little video clips in your mind, one at a time. Be there as the observer, as the adult, as the wonderful human being that you are, and say those words. That's not me. That was me. I experienced that. It might have upset me, but it doesn't now, because it happened in the past. There's nothing that I can change about that apart from how I react to it now. And just take your time over this. Don't rush it. Don't rush the process. Just go with it. Just let it flow so that you can let it go. Remember, that's not me. And when you're acting as the observer, you might be thinking, I can't believe that this is still impacting me as an adult. Why would it do that? But it does, because as a child, these things impact massively on your life. And you take it on board and you carry that belief, those emotions, those thoughts with you as an adult. And so while consciously you might be able to look at it now and say, well, yeah, of course that's not me, because I'm an adult now and, I've got responsibilities and, if someone pushed me over in the playground, I wouldn't stand for that. I would stand up for myself. But you're still carrying that burden, that weight around with you. So don't belittle it, because it is still impacting or affecting you in some way. So how did those little exercises make you feel? Did you feel uncomfortable? Did you feel like a weight's been lifted off your shoulders? Did you think, oh, I feel silly doing that because how could that still be impacting me? But you know it is. What I want you to do is just spend a little bit of time journaling out everything that you're feeling, that you thought throughout this exercise, anything and everything, because nothing is silly. Everything is significant in some sort of way. So just write it all out. What I want to kind of stress here is this is an ongoing process. So much happens to us in our life experience that shouldn't be a one-off exercise. Come back and revisit this at least once a week, because there might be lots of things going on in your life. So don't try and tackle it all at once. Do one thing at a time. Take it one day at a time. But repeat this process and you'll start to find as well that you just become more aware of yourself, more aware of your mind, and more aware of the things that might be impacting you that before you didn't realize were impacting you. I'd love to know how you found this exercise, and I would love you to leave some messages in the comments. Let me know how you got on. How did this exercise make you feel? Did it make you feel more kind of revitalized? Did it give you a greater, deeper understanding of yourself? Did it make you feel uncomfortable? Share anything that maybe came up in this session. And like I say, please do revisit this. It's an ongoing process. Healing your inner child is a marathon, not a sprint. And I will see you again on our next video. Take care. Goodbye.